All righty. Hello, everyone. Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. And wow, how many people do we have in the house? Okay, we hope that others will join us as we go along. I hope my light is good. And we have the founder and CEO of selar.co himself in the house. Shout out in the comment section, guys. I want to see those comments. I want to see those comments in the chats. I want you to say, welcome, Don. Welcome, boss. He's here to teach, to share, and to also tell us the strategies that he has employed. To have gotten this far. This is a rare privilege, guys. This is a rare privilege. Please shout out in the comment section. Show some love, show some love, show some love, show some love. I think I'm the happiest person here, right? I guess others are as excited as I am. So show that you're really excited to learn, to listen, and to gain premium level knowledge. This is it, guys. This is it. And so I have the honor and the privilege to invite, the founder and CEO of selar.co himself, Douglas Kendyson. You're welcome on board, boss. So you have the floor now. Let's see your face and please shoot.
Hi, thanks for having me. My pleasure.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak at your event. Thanks for also just being a champion for selar and using our product. Really, and I really hope everyone has a great experience just listening to what I want to talk about today. So can I share my screen?
Okay. Hold on, give me a moment. Let me stop sharing.
So I want to zoom. Can you see my full screen now? Because I just did like a full screen zoom.
Yes, I can see your screen. Can you see screen? Please leave a yes in the chat if you can see screen. A yes, a big yes. Okay, great. So the yeses are coming in. All right. So
my pleasure. So today in this talk, I will be talking about how to leverage selar to and I'll be talking about my career as well as some other stuff.
Please be muted. If you're not speaking, please be muted. Please be muted if you're not speaking. Thank you.
Okay.
Do not try to justify yourself to me. You've been fooling me so well. You sent me to grandma's house so that you could plan for any accident in private.
Okay, I've muted the last person I was speaking. Okay, awesome. So glad to kick off. Yes, so my name is Douglas Kendyson. I'm the founder of selar. I'll be talking to you about leveraging selar to make millions. And I'll be talking about, first, before I go on, I will tell you about me. So I am a civil engineering graduate, I guess by degree. Went to Covering University. And I don't think I've practiced civil engineering since I graduated. So in 300 level, I picked up software engineering. So I've always been an entrepreneurial person. So I think when I got into like the first year in uni, I used to play around with computers a lot, but typically that meant fixing computers for people and earning like a pretty decent sum reselling like computer hardware parts. And that was, I think, for like a lot of my 100 and 200 level. And I'll tell you how I transitioned into tech. So I think in my 300 level or at the end of my 200 level, I basically thought, oh, I'm trying to reach a bigger community in this school. I should make a website so that people can find me. So I eventually, and I think so got into school in 2011, 2012. So this is roughly 2013. Unlike now that we have a plethora of platforms that help you make sites that are easy to find, that wasn't that common. So I decided to learn how to be like a software engineer just to build my own sites so that more people would like patronize my computer fixing business. And so I reached out to a friend. He taught me how to code. And I guess I never went back. I never fixed computers again. The money I was earning from like doing side projects, I was actually very lucky in my, I think one very big lesson that I learned was the friends that were teaching me how to program. And I guess people always view programmers as people that just like code. However, the friends that I was learning from, they were business people before they were coders. And that was a very big paradigm shift because in as much as I was learning how to code and write good code, I was just more about, like, I was also just very invested in the business of things. So I probably started learning how to write code in August or July. I think August actually. And by like December, I already got like a full-time job, like even though I was still in school, like working for somebody. And that's just how, so I was already like earning money, maybe like 3 to 4 months in. And that's not necessarily the experience of a lot of developers, especially at the time. But because they put in I was people that were very business focused, that also helped me business focused. So did a lot of computer fixing, so did a lot of programming a lot around the time. I was actually even very lucky. I got contracted to build Kobam's Asuko's website, and I was like 1 year into being a developer at the time. So that was awesome experience, awesome money that I was very happy for. So that was me venturing out outside like my school to really provide value and earn money. And then I moved on. And then right after school, when I was done with school, I knew I definitely wasn't doing civil engineering things. I just got my degree and I was done. I started working. I worked at two, I guess, top African startups, Paystack, sold to Stripe for over 200 million and Flutterwave valued at over £1 billion. And I was very lucky to at least work with these companies immediately after school. And I graduated in 2016. And then when I was working at Paystack was when the idea for Selar came. So I had seen a lot of people email us saying, hey, we're trying to sell this ebook, we're trying to monetize our knowledge in this way, and I just need a simple way to collect the money online. So I ended up just reaching out to a couple friends. Then we made an MVP, and that's how Selar as you know it today came on board. So I will give you like a brief intro for those that. So my favorite quote of all time, and I think this is a quote that I hope sticks with you. This is actually a blog post. It's a cool blog post by Seth Godin. You can go check it out. You can just Google it. So it says, reject the tyranny of being picked, pick yourself. And the idea of this post is very simple. A lot of people wait for opportunities to come to them, wait to be chosen by gatekeepers of different industries. I mean, it's also very typical when you go to school and then you're sort of like waiting to graduate, waiting to be picked for a job. But this is saying the opposite. Reject that tyranny of waiting to be picked. Pick yourself, do the work that would propel you forward. Try to get opportunities, make the opportunities yourself. And it's a really great post that I love, and I stick with it every time. So. Sorry, one sec. Okay, so a little about Selar for people that don't know about Selar. So Selar is an e-commerce store builder. So with Selar, in less than like 5 minutes, you can create an account and you can start selling any kind of digital products, whether it's like ebooks, courses, trainings or workshops like this, live training, digital product packs, coaching services, templates. I mean, there's so many kinds of digital product applications today. You could really make anything. And we just make it easy for you to sign up in less than 5 minutes, set your bank account details, upload your product, and immediately you can start making it sell. And you can even start selling like an ebook that you haven't fully written by selling it pre-order, selling it on a pre-order basis. So that's stuff that you can take advantage of. So In this slide, I included a deck. I included a slide from my corporate deck that we typically send to people. And I included this slide because I just wanted to talk about the traction in which we've grown. And hopefully I would give you some insights on stuff that we've done to do this. And maybe that can just get you thinking. So this is our traction. I think this slide was taken by June, I think middle of June. And we're a bootstrap startup, so we haven't even raised any money yet. We've grown to over 10,000 creators. We've creators on Selar have sold over $1 million in like digital products, and these are creators. That's a part of something that you can be. That we've paid out to creators in the last 12 months. But interestingly, though, I think it's important for you to look at the traction over the years. So Seller started in 2016. I didn't add those other slides just because I was trying to remove them. But in 2018, we probably did like $10,000 in transaction volume. In 2019, 16,000. And in 2020, it's 270,000. In 2021, it's over 840. And I think now by the time of this webinar, it's over $1 million. And I guess it's important to like wonder, oh, so what really changed? It's the same product. I think in 2020, I would tell you a couple of things. I made a decision personally that, hey, I've had this product for roughly 3 to 4 years now. I can choose to put in more energy into this product and have it yield good returns, or put in more energy, see it doesn't work, and then I move on. So for me, the beginning of 2020, I just said, okay, I want to be more intentional about this. I mean, clearly people have been using the product and liking the product, but it's like, that's not enough. You have to push and do all the work that needs to be done. So by, I think March, I had listed, by I think beginning of February, January, I had like listed out a bunch of things that I definitely wanted to roll out in 2020, at least features wise. In March, I had hired a social media and content person. And the funny thing is, you can definitely see the transition in terms of our content marketing when you just visit our social media page. So our social media is like try Seller. And you can just see the intentionality going from where we used to be and how we decided to be more intentional and growing our like full social media, trying to be more organic in how we share our content. We also deployed very intentional one-on-one direct marketing into our product, where we're DMing like at least like 500 to 1,000 people in just because we're really putting in the efforts to make sure that we grow as a company. And all of that really culminated in our growth. There are different strategies and things that we did in our product in terms of trying to drive word of mouth. I think Seller it's a phenomenal product because most of our customers, if not 70 or 80%, come from like people referring us. So even being intentional on the product level to put that out was very key. Now, I'll tell you 3 success stories that I typically love to share in terms of digital product sellers on Seller today. So I have 3. So number 1 is, I know a lady, she sold $5 to $10 ebooks in 2018. And by 2020, I had seen her profile and she had been selling coaching services of $1,500. I think that's a very strong power on how transformative digital products are. You could really go, I mean, of course, there's a lot of work she put in 2 to 3 years, but the question is, are you willing to put in the work? And she definitely still sells her ebooks, her coaching services, and her courses really well over time. Another story I'll tell you of is a designer. She makes like UI designs. And the very funny thing about all the stories I'm telling you, these are real stories that you can just go check up and see them online. Yeah, she's called Michelle Chibundu on Twitter. You can definitely check her out. In her first 2 months of her ebook, she sold over ₦1 million. And she's never written an ebook before. She's just a UI designer. And she just thought, oh, I want to share my knowledge on how I got started in UI design, because I see a lot of people asking me this question. She has less than 5K followers, or at least at the time in December, she had less than 5K followers. She worked on that ebook for maybe roughly 3 to 4 months while still having a full-time job. So it's the same thing for anybody still in school. And she was able to sell over ₦1 million in 2 months. And she still makes a lot of passive income from the ebook every month. Now, the last story I would share is an actual find. She's a final year student I'm trying to remember the university in Nigeria, but we actually have a blog post about it, and you can definitely check it out on our blog, selar.co/blog. And she sold her course. She was teaching a course on how to make for people looking to get into the hair business, and she sold about 500K in the first month. And that's how transformative this is, and that's how lucrative it is. And it's just a function of, oh, can you put in the work? Is it something that you're interested in? And how much time and energy can you do to put it? So if you're already looking at this and you're already like, okay, this seems great, this seems exciting, sign me up. How do I get started? Now, I've outlined a couple of things for anybody that's interested in getting into the digital product space. So from my experience as the founder, seeing thousands of creators sell products, I think I've outlined 5 things that I think will be very key for anybody that is looking to start selling digital products. And these are mindset, product quality, audience, advertisement, and constant reinvention. So for anybody curious about the kind of digital products you can sell, I guess I've listed a couple: ebooks, courses, trainings, digital product packs, etc. So, and I mean, this is a very short, exhaustive list. You can definitely look out for more. There's so many applications. People sell presets to Photoshop. People sell whatever it is your skill is. You can definitely monetize it. So going back again to the slide. So let me break a couple of things down to you. So when it comes to mindset, a lot of people always emphasize on having like a positive thinking mentality every time. And the reason is because from what I've seen, it's a very big differentiator from the creators that sell small and the creators that also go big every time. It's like, it's very constant. So because as someone that sees a lot of products that people sell, I see people like, I've seen somebody sell an ebook that I know is worth 5,000 and they'll sell it for 500. And I mean, they make a couple of sales here and there, but it's like, you can just tell that this person is not reaching their potential. And the only reason why it's like, and you ask them and they're like, well, I don't think people are going to be willing to pay for it. But 9 out of 10 times, people are always willing to pay for it. It's a function of, can you ask for it? Do you believe your content is worth it? Do you believe your product is worth it at the end of the day? Like, you have people selling ebooks, their first ebook for 5,000. Like, you also have people that are like, well, I don't know, people will not buy it. Let me just price it to be low and affordable at the end of the day. I know a Kenyan merchant that sold farm materials. He was selling like farm materials about how to get into like poultry, fish, farming, and the rest. These ebooks were less than, I think, $1 in like Kenyan currencies, definitely less than $1, or definitely less than 1,000 naira. I had to pull him aside saying, man, your ebooks can go for at least $10. You're putting a lot of knowledge into this. Even if you went to Google and copied everything, based on how many pages you have, you definitely have so much value that people can buy. And it's like, at the end of the day, and then he was like, okay, I guess I would try to raise it up. And I think he wasn't still confident enough to take it to $10, but I think he was confident to take it to like $3 or $5. It was like 1K at the end of the day. So he was like moving from like 400 to maybe like 1K, 1.5, and people still paid for it. And that's the moral of the story. It's like, you need to have the mind. It's like, and the good thing about positive mentality and just being on that mindset that you have value to give is this applies to every area of your life at the end of the day. So you have like people, so even if you're not just selling products, having that mindset that you have value will be great if you start looking for a job tomorrow at the end of the day, because you know that you know what you're worth, you can ask for what you're worth, and that differentiates people that end up getting cheated when they go for applications or giving offers. So that's our mindset. The next thing I will talk about is product quality. Now, I think there's also this very small notion that people share around that, oh, people that sell digital products, they're most likely not selling value, any kind of value at the end of the day. But then I'll tell you something. Most of the merchants that have repeat customers that sell monthly, quarterly, yearly, it's because the only reason why people can come back to you every time is because you're giving them value. Does that make sense? So when it comes to like product quality, it's very important that you are giving value in the digital products that you sell. Your product has to be top notch. It has to, because that's even while there are so many ways to drive word of mouth, one of the easiest way to drive word of mouth is from a satisfied and happy customer. And that's why product quality is very important. So whatever it is you're making, whatever it is you're putting your hands into, make sure that you are giving your customers a lot of value and they're happy. Now, the next thing I'll talk about is audience. So with audience, it's a very interesting and tricky thing. So we put out a post, I think a couple months ago, or maybe a couple weeks back, and you can check our Instagram again at TrySeller for that. And the post said, when is the best time to build an audience? Before or after the product is ready? And if you look at the comments, you'd see a lot of people really arguing both sides. You should definitely have an audience before. You should have an audience after. But the truth is, both of those answers are right, and you can make it work with either of those answers. But what's key is you need to still have an audience at the end of the day. So, because the people that are going to buy your, like people that are buying your products or people that are buying your books, they are an audience. So even if you want to create a book that you think would serve a particular market, it's helpful to hopefully start grooming that market before time, collecting an email list, building a following regardless, so that when your book is ready, they can buy. You can be giving them like freebies, free tutorials, give them teasers, and all of that is great because once your book is ready, they will drop their money. And even if your book is ready and now you're not looking for an audience, that's still fine. You have to still cultivate a community that will be interested in this and then start giving them value, and hopefully they will buy your products. Now, the next thing I'll talk about is advertisements. This is a very interesting one because when people think of advertisements, I don't know if they always think it's a waste of money or whatever, but I'll tell you something. I was speaking to this merchant that she had a sale sometime, I think January this year. She sold, I think, roughly $10,000 or 11, one of which. And I asked her later, because I know she ran ads. She has a huge following. So I was like, you have a very big following. You have hundreds of thousands of followers. Why do you need to like run ads for your sale? And I asked her, how much do you spend on that? She said she spent $1,500 on the ads, even on her hundred thousands of like followers. And then it dawned on me that at the end of the day, it's a game of reach. You want to reach as many. And I mean, even social media is very evil right now, where even though you have hundreds of thousands of followers, when you make a post, they all don't see it. You have to pay Facebook, so Facebook will show the followers that are already following you. So that's why when you put out a product, it's very important that you consider your advertisement strategy, because you have to set a budget for it, make sure it's available. So whether you're doing advertisements in the context of like Facebook, Google, all the typical channels, or you're doing like collaborations with different people, or you're doing influencer marketing, whatever it is. But the important thing you have to note is people are not just going to always organically find you. So you have to put in the intention of spreading your product, making sure it reaches more people. I mean, if you're in school or you're in a setup where maybe you can definitely even go, that's why people have like all these like pop-up shops where they go to places, find people that are most likely going to use their product. So definitely think of how many people am I reaching on my organic channels today? How can I increase that? Because the more you increase that, the more you stand a chance of making more sales at the end of the day. And I mean, of course, whenever you start your advertisement strategy, it's very important that you measure your cost of acquisition, which is how much is it costing me to get one sale right now? If it's costing you 5,000 to get one sale of 1K, obviously you're wasting money. Might as well stop that. So make sure you're measuring that and make sure it's very clear. And there's so many courses everywhere that will just teach you so much about all these different topics. Now, the last thing I would say is constant reinvention. Yes, there are people that write one book and they make sales in high volumes and they're very lucky, but that's not going to be the case for everybody. Most of the time, you have to constantly reinvent something. So whether you're constantly reinventing your marketing strategy for products that you create, whereby you're thinking of new ways to market the product every time, or you're constantly reinventing the product so that you are repackaging it in a different format that is new to people and makes it appealing to everybody to buy. But the point is you have to constantly reinvent, because you can't do the same thing and expect like so much exponential growth every time. Yes, there are outliers that release something is phenomenal. People just loving it more and more and they grow, but those are outliers and that's never the case for a lot of people. So with these 5 points, I really hope it's giving you an idea for anybody that's looking to get into digital products. What can you do? The mindset is important. Your product quality is important. Building your audience is important, because even after you buy the book, you have to still engage your audience, build a community around it. That's how you ensure consistent revenue over time. Your advertisement is important. Make sure you're doing as much to reach as many people as possible, because the more reach you have, you get buyers. And then you have constant reinvention. Make sure you're reinventing your marketing, you're reinventing your strategies for more sales, whatever it is that you need. So action points, I'd say, think of your expertise, think of your passion, think of whatever it is you're looking to get, looking to do, looking to build, to create. Think of whatever it is you'll be happy to make. And even if you're not happy to make, even if you're not happy to make it, I think of whatever it is that will be profitable for you, that is legal. Look into building your audience, that's very key. For anybody that is looking to sell any kind of digital product, service, Seller makes this very easy. In less than 5 minutes, you can sign up, sell any kind of digital product. We also support international payments from Stripe, PayPal. We also make it very easy in terms of multi-currency payments. So we have like one store and you can receive Naira, you can receive Ghana cedis, Kenyan shillings, USD, GPB, and really anything. So it's a very dynamic store builder that really helps you achieve whatever you want in terms of selling digital products or even physical products. And that is it for me. I hope, was I too fast? I feel like this is 1 hour and 30 minutes. But I hope this was really helpful. I hope I cut straight to the point, and I'm happy to take questions actually if
okay, that was a very, are you done talking?
Yes.
I must say that was very fast. But really you kind of focused on, what was necessary. And I must say that I learned a lot. And if there's something that I personally am beginning to invest in, is the fact that the more sales you must make, the more people you must reach. And the more you're reached, the more the conversion. And the more the conversion, the more the money that comes to the bank accounts and all of that. So, but I mean, everyone who listened, intentionally would have learned so much within the shortest possible time. And just like you said, I mean, there are people who just Google stuffs up online and then they put something together and then they sell. Like when I came to this space last year, I was like, God, babe, you know so much. How come I don't even know how to do what those folks are doing? And I'm like, oh, you finished with this degree, you did this in school, like all of that knowledge, right? What exactly do I do with it? And of course, when I started, it was just basically me trying to enlighten people looking to study abroad on fully funded scholarship. I mean, that was just it, right? But along the line, I started realizing that there is even so much in here that I'm yet to put out there. I mean, if I should think about my parenting journey alone, or how I made a first class, or how there are so many things to make money from. I mean, if we all should actually x-ray our lives, we can come up with more than 100 profit centers that we can turn into knowledge products. And that is just the truth. And so thank you for sharing so much. And I would like for those who have participated, listen, carefully to ask questions. So the room is open, guys. If you have questions, comments, contribution, whatever it is that you have, just ask your questions now. If you want to type in the chat, please go ahead and type. If you want to unmute yourself, please unmute yourself. This is the chance. Any question within the scope of today's conversation, feel free to ask those questions. So we're waiting.
Can you hear me?
So there's a first question here. Is it free to register on Selar?
Yes, so Selar is free to register. Can you hear me, Bisola? Can you hear me, Bisola?
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Can I what?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No, not really.
Oh, I
but
see.
I don't know if others can hear you. Can you all hear him?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I'm the only one having issues with my speaker, but I am trying to hear you. They can hear you.
Okay, yeah, so seller is free to register. So I was gonna like talk about something you mentioned earlier when you were talking about the knowledge, like anything that you want to make knowledge products. So one thing that I've actually realized is people underestimate how much people don't know. I think because one knows something, it's so easy to just assume every other person knows it, and every other person has. It's funny because like I mean, even things that you can Google at the end of the day, you think, okay, can't anybody just Google? The other day on Seller, I saw a product that said how to create a Google form. It was like a webinar and it cost 1,500 and people paid for it. And that doesn't diminish anybody that pays for that product. But my point is, it's very easy for the time to assume what people know just because of how much expertise that you have, because of so much that you know. But I think when you look deeply and look carefully, you just realize a lot of people don't know much, and your knowledge can definitely be traded for their money. And I think that's something that you should really think about because there's just so much that you assume that people don't know, but you're very surprised people don't know that.
Okay, so I think the first question has been answered. Yes, Seller is free. And I will say that personally, I mean, I use Seller, right? So when I started using the platform, I think it was earlier in the year. And it was after a training I had with one of my coaches. And then I saw that the link he used to set up his training was Seller. I was like, okay, let me go check out this platform. And it was just so easy to use, easy to navigate, just like SendFox, you know, for those who have email lists. I mean, it was just so straightforward. And I was on the free plan for a long time before I upgraded to the, you know, to the second plan. And the reason why I upgraded was because I wanted to start hosting courses and I wanted to put some other kind of content. See, even if you're starting with a book or whatever it is you're starting with, first of all, try to make sure that you make so much from using the free platform before you begin to worry yourself about upgrading. A lot of people just want to keep buying and buying premium, premium, premium. The free that you have access to, like seriously, have you actually used it well? Have you made a lot of money from it? I was on SendFox, the free option for about 2 years until I upgraded this year. And because the reason I had to upgrade was because my emails were no longer delivering on time because on SendFox, it takes time for folks to get your emails when you're on the free option. But once you are on the paid option, your emails are delivered faster and easily. I'm just saying that make use of the free options very well before you start thinking about going, premium or going higher. I don't know if that makes sense. So basically, use the free option that you have. Use it very well. Build your influence. Get people to buy your product or services before you start to bother yourself about upgrading to the paid option. I mean, there are several tools out there that are free to use. Think of InShot for video editing. Think of Facebook. Think of Instagram. These different accounts that we even use on social media to make money. We just create them for free, right? Even though there is nothing that is actually free because you're using your data and somehow they make their money. But of course, you're given the impression that it is free. And of course, it is free in the real sense of the word. But at the end of the day, you're making money off the free tools that you have access to. I mean, think of StreamYard. There is a free version before there's a paid version. YouTube is free to create. Now, if you're opening a YouTube account and you grow your following, you have subscribers, before you know it, that free tool becomes something you're able to monetize. I'm just trying to say that, yes, go start somewhere and stop bothering yourself about, how about the paid option? Also, do I need to upgrade? Don't even bother upgrading. Try to make the best use of the free version. And so there's another question. Is there a way to connect with other sellers on Seller? Like a way to view what other people in the same niche are selling? That's a question from Urimo Buje. What do you have to say, CEO?
Yeah, you'd actually find a lot of other sellers on our Instagram page. I guess you see a lot of people that comment on our pages and follow us. However, I would say that we have a marketplace coming. We have a marketplace coming hopefully in the next couple of months, maybe 2-3 months from now, where you get to see a lot of products, where we actually want to showcase a lot of the amazing products people sell on Seller. And so that way you'll be able to see what other products are selling, and hopefully we also want to use that to promote more products that people sell on Seller. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
I didn't get that.
So can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly now? So we have a marketplace coming, like a marketplace that's going to showcase all the amazing products that creators sell. And we hope to use that marketplace to make sure that more people have more reach for their products, for the products that they sell. And so with that, you can see more products like in your category, because you can search for whoever is selling, like all Facebook ads, whoever is selling things are so that's something that we plan to do.
Okay. Do we have other questions or from anybody? Okay, in a bid to ensure the, okay, I think that question has been answered. Is there any other person who has anything to share? I mean, so I would like for 1 or 2 or 3 people to unmute and, just talk. Like we've been doing chatting and we've been doing this one-sided conversation. We want to have feedbacks from those who have been listening. Come on, unmute yourself, boldly unmute yourself and tell us what you have gained. And this is your chance to interact one-on-one. Like you don't get this chance every day. You don't get this chance every day. So make the best use of it. Unmute yourself and start talking, like seriously. I will take other questions in the chat much later, but let's have people engage by unmuting themselves. Turn on your video if you wish to, and start talking. Like let's have feedback based on what you have learned, and then tell us if there's any question you have. My dentist is here. Okay, you have the floor, ma'am.
Okay, good evening all.
Hi, Beatrice, how are you?
I'm fine. Oh, thanks so much, our coach, for giving us the platform, and also to the CEO. God bless you for coming. Actually, I was actually affected in my first ebook that I produced in Seller, the mindset stuff. I was like, are they going to buy from this? Are they? And after the whole thing, I actually put it at the rate of 1,000 Naira. Okay, and then of late, I have really actually understand that everything is all about mindset. If you have the mindset that they are going to buy your product, definitely the price doesn't actually determine if they will buy it or not. So the best thing is to have a very good quality. If you have done the right thing you're supposed to do, and the right things are in there, definitely they will buy your products. And actually the audience of a thing, I think I need to go back and then go back and work on my audience, building up and engaging them, and also advertising that this is what I have, and then how to actually, bring more people to buy those products. It doesn't mean if you have thousands of products out there, but the main thing is, even if you have only one, the advertisement and, engaging your audience will determine how many people, how many audience are going to patronize you, and that will work out fine for you. And also that of the thought about the constant reinvention, that means I need a lot of work to do on that. So now I've known that you don't just leave it out there. Once you've done one product, you can still go back and work on that same product to repackage it, bring in, you can even add more to it. Just make sure you make something different out of what you have there in, and then add more quality to it, and still yet you will still have something to put out there. So I have really learned a lot, And then I believe that if I should work with this knowledge I've actually acquired here, I believe that it will work out fine for me, and I will gain much more. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you, Beatrice. Interestingly, I was actually just looking at your seller store now. Like you mentioned, you are a seller merchant. So this is really cool. Thanks. Thanks for using our product. I'm really glad that you picked up a couple of things. I think I'll definitely be looking out more for your profile to see how you apply and how you pick up new things. I think, yes, reinventing, yes, advertisement, those are things that really push the product to, because your product, I'm looking at your store now, and you sell products for people, for their teeth and all of that. And I think it'll be great. I think more people would just need to see it, and hopefully they will get what you have. So awesome stuff and success with it. There's a question here from Temidayo. It says, starting out and setting up the email list, is there a tutorial to help with this? Yes. So
can I take that question?
Yes, please.
So I know you might want to say something after that. So, but as far as building an email list is concerned, I think I did a free webinar in the past, and I think you can find that on my channel. If I don't know who that person is, but you can send me a chat if you have my number so you can listen to that session. In fact, I had to do a 1,000 Naira course on building an email list from scratch. And that course is also on seller. It's just 1,000 Naira just to learn how to actually build your email list from scratch. And let me also just say that whether you buy the course or not, this is how to actually get started. It's something that I've done and it has always worked, and I keep doing it. If you do not build a following, like you start from, picking a niche. I mean, you can't just wake up and say, I want to build an email list. For what purpose? To serve what audience? So there are some fundamentals you have to, first of all, deal with before you say you're setting up an email list. Who do you want to serve? Okay, maybe you want to sell wigs to people, or you want to create something for people who want to learn how to make wigs. Or perhaps you want to serve people who want to learn how to sew, or who would buy ready-made clothes. Whatever it is you want, whosoever it is you want to serve, understand who you want to serve first. And do you have the capacity to serve them? When I say capacity, I'm not saying you must be a pro, but definitely do you have some level of understanding as far as that audience, their needs, their concerns, their issues. You need to really know who you want to serve. And you must have some level of knowledge as far as, how to serve them. Now, when you're done with that, then begin to share value. It is a sharing value and creating value using lead magnets, or using lead magnets. Lead magnet can be anything. It can be you calling plenty people and say, okay, I'm doing a free WhatsApp class, right? And after the free WhatsApp class, you're saying, okay, click on this link to join, to download my free ebook, or to get access to a one-page document that I did. It has to be something that still resonates with what you're teaching them. You can't be bringing people together and saying, I want to show you how to study abroad in 6 months. And then at the end of that session, you're sharing a file on how to get a passport in Nigeria. Like, it doesn't connect. Or maybe you're sharing with them a PDF on how to weave their hair from home, or how to grow natural hair. Like, seriously, it does not connect. So make sure that when you bring people, and I mean, the easiest way, get their attention, let them have your presence, let them feel your vibration live. I know that a lot of people will say, okay, I would rather put out a free book, let them keep clicking and downloading. No, gather them somewhere. Perhaps you're routing them to your WhatsApp, and then you're saving their number, you're getting them to join a class somewhere, and then give them access to a downloadable. And this downloadable then must be something that is of value, a premium value, I must tell you, because if you sound sensible and they read something sensible from you, it is easier for them to decide that they want to buy from you. Sound like it, let them read like it, and then boom, that's it. And at the end of the day, you're building your list. You're not just having Mogwamo branch, just joining your mailing list. Because when you throw your link out there for people to just download, some people will just click and download and they will not read. But once you have engaged them live and you're giving them value, the chances that they would go ahead and download your resource is higher. I don't know if this makes sense. So initially I used to go by just putting out links, but I told myself that no, rather than just put out links, I bring them, I bring them very close to me, have that attention somewhere. I then give them my lead magnet, which is another lead magnet anyway, a downloadable. Please mute yourself if you're not speaking yet. And at the end of the day, I route them, you know, they click the link because I have given them value. Most people would download. I hear Bob Proctor say this all the time. Don't tell people to download your book if you've not given them your presence. Don't go say download. You must, except you're so popular and they know you like you're now a brand. Imagine people who, please mute yourself if you're not speaking. Imagine someone like T.D. Jakes, someone like Barack Obama or Joe Biden or Douglas Kendyson or many of those big names. If they just put a post on their social media and say, click on this link to download my resource, hello, you know the number of people who would jump to download because these are names. While you're trying, when you do not have name, at least have value. And if you give people value, it makes it easy for you to convert faster. And definitely consistency is what you need to do to be able to build a massive following. And it takes you just starting, building organically. And some people whom you have, you know, given value, you have invested in, will go out there to talk about you. Unpaid advertising, like you have served them. They will not keep quiet. They will keep talking about you. And at the end of the day, when they reach out again, keep doing this, your free webinar or free session. For instance, I go live on my YouTube every Friday at 9 p.m. West African time. Whether one person comes or two people come, I still go live. And I do it every time. Someone today, when I said we're going to go live here, the person was like, share with me the YouTube link. I say it's not the YouTube session. It's a different session. Why? Because there is now, you know, this awareness, and you need to create this top of mind awareness. They call it TOMA, right? Top of mind awareness. Let them keep thinking about you. Let them be preoccupied by that name, your identity, your presence. Oh, everybody says selar, 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 selar. Like I jumped on John Obidi's live last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? It was a session on the night school on his YouTube channel. And then after he was done talking, or in between his session, he said that, oh, that he wanted to let people know about selar and the fact that so many people who were listening to me, you know, there were questions in the chat about how they can receive money into their Naira or local accounts in Africa, why they are not even abroad. And he was just explaining to them how selar makes things easy for them with the fact that there is Stripe, there's PayPal option, and you don't even need to have an international account to be able to have your money in dollars or in a foreign currency paid into your local account. So I guess I don't know if I made sense to some people here, but I'm just trying to say that don't go by that fashion of putting out a resource and then let them come to you and then they begin to download. I mean, you still have their presence. It's wrong for you to put a link out there when you don't have their contacts. And you know the easiest way to reach people today is through WhatsApp. I mean, build a WhatsApp broadcast list and you can route them anywhere in the world, if I can say that. So I'd like the CEO to add his comments.
No, you did say it all. And someone did ask for the link for the webinar, and I already found it and I just shared it with them immediately. I think you are very right. Definitely you want to give value while you're building your list. That's the only way people would keep giving you access to their email inbox. Because again, they are giving you access to email them every time and you should not abuse it. So,
what do you think?
What do I think of how they do that? So I said you are very right in the context of like they have to keep giving value consistently if they want to, or am I missing a question?
Did you get that? The question in the chat?
Also, I'm reading the other questions in the chat now.
Okay,
so
okay.
So the second question is, so I've shared the link to your course. People can pick it up, and I guess they can also reach out to you. Another question is, I'm a registered nurse. I want to sell products for how to people, but again, you don't manufacture the product. So I'm guessing these are physical products you probably want to resell. So you can't sell, you can sell physical products on Seller, and you can set whatever price you want and share your link with people to buy. And when they pay, you just deliver it. So that's something that you can do. On our YouTube channel, you can just search for Seller Inc. on our YouTube, and you can just see a video on how to sell digital products on Seller. I can just get you the link now while we're on this live. Just one sec. Try to get you the link. Sorry, this is taking me more than a sec. Where is this? Where is this? Okay, I'm just going to send you this link. This is better. So you can look this up. You can check this video out if you're looking to sell any kind of physical product on Seller or resell products. So the second one, there's another question that says, can I link a DOM account, meaning that I receive foreign currency rather than converting to Naira? So not at this time, but it's something that we hope to launch very soon, in a couple of months. So we've already started laying the groundwork for it, and it's sort of ready with one of our providers. So hopefully that will come in like the next couple of months. We might be making an announcement for it very soon. So please follow us on social media and you'll be updated, or sign up on Seller, you'll get an email. So the next thing is, so to access the downloadable will help generate, I think that's a question for you, Bisola. It's a follow-up to your comments earlier. So yeah, so Samuel, I hope that answers your question. So hopefully we'll have that very soon. Does anyone else have a question? Hello.
Yeah, we're with you, sir.
So I don't see any other question on the chat. So I guess I'll leave it to Bisola to close the session. So let's just give Bisola a minute. Hi, Bisola. No, I can't hear you. Okay.